This week, I realized I spent almost 20 minutes following people I probably never meet. First, I was listening to an analysis of the war between Russia and Ukraine. Later, I watched a documentary about the British royal family. Then, I looked up and I realized I haven't even phoned someone I've been meaning to call. That bothered me. And one question quietly settled in my mind. How much time have I spent thinking about people I will never meet while giving far less attention to the people sitting around my table? I wonder if you've ever done the same. This episode isn't really about war or the royal family or politics. It's about attention. Every life is built one day at a time. Every day is built one decision at a time, and every decision begins with one moment of attention. I realized something this week. I wasn't listening to those news reports because they affected my daily life. I was listening to it because they were interesting. They were dramatic and my brain loved it. Somewhere along the way, I stopped choosing my attention. Something else started choosing it for me. Our brains have been shaped over thousands of years to notice danger before they notice peace. If our ancestors ignored a rustle in the bushes, they didn't survive long enough to become our ancestors. Psychologists call this the negative bias. Neuropsychologist Rick Hanson described it like this. Our brains are like Velcro for negative experiences and Teflon for positive ones. Think about it. One frightening headline, one argument, one celebrity scandal can stay in our minds for the whole day. Yet, dozens of ordinary acts of kindness, neighbors helping neighbors, children laughing, friends caring for one another, can pass through our minds almost unnoticed. Not because the world is only negative, but because our brains were designed to scan for danger first. Thousands of years ago, that helped us to survive. Today, that same brain keeps us scrolling through conflict that has very little influence on our own lives. Wars, celebrity scandals, political fights, and behind it all, thousands of companies compete for one thing: your attention. Not your money, not your loyalty, your attention. Because the longer you watch, the more valuable you become to advertisers. This doesn't mean the news is bad. It doesn't mean social media is bad. And it certainly doesn't mean we should ignore the world. Because being informed matters. But here's the difference between being informed and being consumed. Sometimes I know more about the royal family living thousands of kilometers away than I know what is worrying the neighbor across the street. Sometimes I can tell you exactly what is happening in another country, but I haven't phoned an old friend for weeks. And that is when I ask myself, who is choosing where my attention goes? Me or someone else? We often invest enormous emotional energy in problems we cannot change while postponing conversations that might genuinely change someone's day. It's easier to analyze what politicians should do than to phone someone I've been meaning to call for weeks. It's easier to discuss problems on another continent than to face something quietly waiting in my own home. Have you noticed that? Years ago, I came across an idea that stayed with me. Imagine your life as 3 circles. Circle number 1 is what you control. Circle number 2, what you can influence. Circle number 3, what you simply observe. Unfortunately, most of us spend far too much time in the 3rd circle. We observe, we comment, we worry, but we have almost no control over that outcome. The first circle is small, but incredibly powerful. I can choose how I treat people. I can choose what I watch. I can choose how I care for my health. I can choose where I spend my attention. The second circle is influence. I may not control my children, but I can influence them. I can't control my community, but I can make it a little kinder. I can't control the world, but I can leave one small corner of it better than I found it. Most of our stress comes from living in the third circle. Thriving begins when we spend more of our energy in the first two. Once I realized how much time I was spending in that third circle, another question came to my mind. If someone gave me 1 extra hour every day, where would I honestly want to spend it? Walking, calling a friend, helping a neighbor, reading a book, playing with the grandchildren, cooking with family, learning something new, looking after my health, growing my faith, investing in my marriage. These moments rarely make the news, but they quietly build a meaningful life. I still want to know what's happening in the world. Being informed matters, but I don't want the world conflicts to overshadow my own purpose. I don't want to know everything happening everywhere while missing the people who need my attention right here. Perhaps that is one of the gifts of getting older. Wisdom isn't knowing more. Wisdom is learning what deserves my attention. So here is my invitation for this week. Every evening, ask yourself one question. Where did I spend most of my attention today? Did it leave me hopeful or exhausted? Did I spend my attention on things I could influence or only on things I could observe? And tomorrow, what is one small choice I could make differently? Our lives are built one day at a time. Our days are built one moment of attention at a time. We cannot completely change how our brains were designed. What you repeatedly give your attention becomes your habit. So, perhaps it is, what did I choose to give my attention today? Because where our attention goes, your life quietly follows. This week I'm choosing to give a little more attention to people sitting around my table. I hope you'll join me too. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now.